Let's see if we can get some more people in here. My apologies. It looked like I'm trying to get us back now. Bear with me. All right, got a few people back. Look like Wyatt-Live on Facebook is back. Wyatt-Live on YouTube is back. And let me send it over to my spots. My apologies. I'm going to tell you what's going on here. I'm going to tell you what's going on here. One second. Let's give us a couple minutes to get this going back, and we're and I don't know why I share this to these groups because I never get anybody. No one from those groups ever come back in. They never come in and say anything. Angela Kinney is back. Brenda Early says, Happy Tuesday. Okay, it looks like we're back up. I want to explain to everyone what's going on real fast, if you don't mind. Give me 2 ticks. Let me go ahead and share this to the page, to Wyatt-Live page again, and then we'll get right at it. If you're with me, say yeah. Good evening, Jenny. Jenny comes in, says, good evening. Let me go back up and show you where I'm at, where I left off. The leader said it was going in and out. That was on the last one. I can't, let me just see if I can't see any comments. Was AP. Notorious B.O.B. is in the building. He says salute. All right. Looks like Fame is in the building. He says, hello, everyone, podcast hosts. Oh, hello, evening podcast host. My bad. Drop says Wyatt-Live. YouTube is good. Yo Underwood comes in and says, what's good, fam? Fame says, hi, Wyatt again. AP says, back. Angela Kinney says, we're good. Brenda Early says, happy Tuesday. Good evening, Jenny says. Like and share, AP says. I will be in and out today. It looks like I'm in and out today also, Jenny, but I appreciate you being in and out for a little while with us. We always love to have you. Let me explain to you guys what's going on here. We were having some technical difficulties because of the fact that there is a power outage in the city of Cincinnati. Okay. And I'm glad I didn't lose all my situation. But let me explain to you what I got going on here. I have power because I have solar joints, right? But let me explain to you. I don't have internet. Okay, I don't have internet. So I have a backup system that allows me to use my electricity due to solar, the plants on the plates on the top of the house. But what happens is, I think Spectrum, who I use in Cincinnati, Ohio, I believe they're out right now. Their service is out. So I don't have any internet service. So what I'm trying to do right now is use my hotspot off of my phone, and I hooked it up to my computer here, and that gives me some internet. So we're gonna get it a shot. We're gonna see what happens. Okay, we're gonna see if we can hold it down for at least an hour. Mama Deb, hey Wyatt family, what's good? Kevin B. Phillips, what's good, brother? Congratulations on your little daughter. I know how it feels. We'll talk about that here shortly. Hey, listen, for parents, specifically daddies, I'm talking to my fellas right now. Okay, let me get it set up right here. I'm talking to my fellas right now. Ladies, you just got to get mad if you want to get mad, but I'm talking to my fellas right now. I am a proud dad. I love it when dads post their kids and their achievements. Mainly, I guess, because I'm biased, because I do it. But I just want to let you know the internet can be used for more than just bullshit out here. There's more than the dark side when it comes to this internet thing. It's up to us to listen. If no one cheers for you, you better cheer for you. That's all I can tell you. You better cheer for you. If no one else does, you better cheer for you. So I look for people who post graduations. I love it when they, I didn't said it several times. I love cap and gown shots. I love GPA shots, like Kevin B. Phillips put his daughter's report card. I can't give you a rundown of all the grades, but the GPA was nice. The grades were great. She want to go off to UCLA. You know what I mean? When I grew up, let me just tell you this real fast, bro. UCLA is a great school, but when I grew up, UCLA was a different school. I had a teacher ask me one time what school I was going to go to when I graduated from high school. And I told this teacher UCLA. And this teacher was like, "Oh, you got to get better grades to get in UCLA." I said, "No, I don't need no grades to get in UCLA." She was like, "What you mean?" I said, "I don't need good grades to get in UCLA. I'm from UCLA." And she was like, "No." She said, "Randy, I don't know what you're talking about, but UCLA, first you gotta, it's a free college that you gotta go to California for, and you have to live there for a year in order to get the free college." I said, "Nah, you don't understand. I don't even have to go to UCLA. I don't have to go to California to go to UCLA." She was like, "You lost me, kid. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but you're going to have to explain it." There you go. For me, Stephen Speed is on it. If you're from down the way, we all went to UCLA. That was University of Clark Land and Armory. That's what that was called, UCLA for us. Teacher didn't find that to be fucking funny, but that's okay. It was funny to the class, and I probably got an F in that class, to be honest with you. So the funny guy once again made everybody laugh, but I got bad grades, and I pay for that later. All right. So that all being said, congratulations to all of the parents that have graduating children this year, and for the daddies that take pride. Now, this is only for the fathers that's been in their kids' life, not you fake ass daddies that's showing up at graduation and ain't paid no child support, haven't been there for your kids. This shit don't count for you. This is not your. I'm not bigging you up. I'm not bigging you up. I'm not bigging up the ones that get in the videos, all shot up in the videos and get all in the graduation pictures and shit, and you ain't been nowhere in the picture in your kid's life, their whole life. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the parents that participated in their children's lives. That's who I'm talking about. No, you don't have to be in the household. It would be nice, but you had to be there for your kids. That's who I'm talking about. I ain't talking about those that come up here hollering about, my daughter. Talking about you, leaving you out of this. Anyway, congratulations, Kevin B. Phillips. His daughter just graduated or got these good grades. She wants to go to UCLA. Keep it up. There go my other brother, Justin Shaw, just popped in. Another family man. I'm bigging up my brothers that are family men today. Those that take care of their children and love the fact that the kids are going on to do bigger and better things than we could ever. I don't have a problem with that. I want my children to be better than me so they can stop asking me for shit. No, I really want my daughter and both my daughters to be better than me. And that's why I don't want them bringing home no knucklehead dude or whatever your child desires. I don't know. But neither one of my daughters I don't welcome any knuckleheads. They got to sneak them type of dudes around me. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not suggesting that it hasn't even happened to me. I don't know. But it can happen to anybody. But yes, how was everybody's weekend before I get into a couple of these topics? Did everybody have a good weekend? Because I did. I had a weekend. It was another weekend where I didn't have to do much. You know, I went to Chicago, and that's not far. I flew into Chicago, stayed there for a while, and it's only about a 4-hour drive from Chicago to Cincinnati. So I got a chance to stay in the Chi. I got my popcorn. If you know anything about the Chi, you cannot go to Chi. You cannot go to Chicago and not get the popcorn. I'm going to tell you what it is for those that may want to know why popcorn is so significant with Chicago. And that is because if you've ever grown up in Cincinnati, if you ever rode a bus downtown, right there by Shillitoe's, if you ever seen that store, what was that store? What was it called? Was it not the 10-cent store? It was Woolworth. Who remember Woolworth downtown across the street from Shillitoe's, Lazarus, whatever you want to call it? It was on the corner up the street. Who remember that? Justin Sharp, this is our secret, bro. This is you and I's secret. That's our secret right there. Our secret weapon of popcorn right there. Garrett's. Unbelievable popcorn. You can probably order it online. They probably should be paying me for saying this. Stephen Speed said Newberry's. Yeah, it was Newberry's, Woolworth, something of that nature. They had the craziest popcorn in the world. And if you remember that taste of popcorn, that's what Garrett's is from Chicago. Yeah. And who remember getting off the metro downtown, right there by Shillitoe's? And as soon as you got off the bus, you could smell that Newberry's, that Woolworth's popcorn. It was between the Woolworth's popcorn and the damn grilled cheese sandwiches that I always smelled when I got off the bus downtown. My God, I'm starting to get I'm getting flashes. I'm getting flashbacks. Let's see. I'm going to catch up with some of these comments. Newberry's. Yeah, I'm sorry. Tracy Dillingham corrected me. She said Newberry's had the best popcorn, caramel popcorn. Yes, they did. But I'm going to tell you who has them. If you want that same tasting popcorn today, in today's world, I don't know where you can get it in Cincinnati. They don't have it in Florida. They have it in Chi. In Chicago, it's called Garrett's. If you have Garrett, you got to get it. If you've never been to Chicago, make Garrett's. Now, you got to go early because it's always a small spot wrapped around the building. Hey, Justin, I don't know if you noticed or not. I know you from Chi, and I know you go back and forth home because you watch them crazy ass Bears for some odd damn reason with Andy Dalton. I don't know why you do that to yourself, bro, but okay. But anyway, they just added another Garrett's, bro, at Navy Pier. I didn't know that. I hadn't been there since they added this new Garrett's over at Navy Pier. I'm saying that's dope. They needed another one. Garrett's is always crazy full over there. I know you in the building July 23rd. I'm going. What is July 23rd? Somebody help me out. In Chicago, always got to stop at Garrett's. That's right. Brenda Early know what time it is. Let's see. My favorite. Did you go to the station break after you got off the bus and got your popcorn? I did. That's Tracy Dillingham, our sister. She said she used to go to the station break, which was up on the Skywalk. We all did that. That was the place that you had to go. That's where we found the little shorties. That's where the girls were. That's where everybody was to try to connect. You meet the girls that lived in Bond Hill. You met the girls that live in Silverton and all the different areas. And we walked down there. So it was cool. Oh my God, melts in your mouth. Yes, it does. All right. So I'm just going to let some of this. Yeah. AB fight, 23rd, July 23rd. Yeah. Against Omar Figueroa. So Chicago will be thick. My next stop in Chicago will probably be July 23rd, of course. It may be before then, but I know July 23rd is. I'm glad you reminded me. I wasn't thinking boxing when you said that. But yeah, July 23rd, Adrian Broner's supposed to fight Omar Figueroa. It looks like that's what it's going to be. We'll see. I'm a when the contract signed kind of guy. That's when I kind of make my arrangements. That's how I am. But hey, quick thing. Let me take a phone call before I get in the topic. We're getting to it early. Hold on one second, guys. Can you hear me, phone caller? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, what's going on, Tracy? How you doing?
Good. Listen, I'm not going to be on the line all day because this is the earliest that I've been home from work. Well, I'm not home yet, but I'm almost home. But I wanted to tell you, you taking me back with Station Breaking the Skywalk, because the Skywalk Cinema was my first job. Well, no, it was my second job. Kings Island was my first job.
Oh, you worked there.
And
You worked there.
Yeah, I worked there. I sure did. That was my second job in high school. I worked there when the Rocky Horror Picture Show was real big, and I think Eddie Murphy Raw. That's how long ago I worked there.
Wow.
Because that was at the movies.
Wow.
But I wanted to tell you a funny story about Garrett's popcorn. So
what's up? It better not be nothing. Listen, hold on.
Huh?
Hold on. You said a funny one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it ain't nothing that's gonna make me not want to eat the rest of my $80 can popcorn.
No.
Okay, because they popcorn crazy expensive.
About 7 years ago, let's see, no, it's got to be longer than that. Probably 10, 15 years ago, my husband and I took the boys to Chicago.
Okay.
And so I had been to Chicago before. I had the popcorn before, but nobody in my family did. So we're walking down Michigan Avenue, and I said, we got to go get this popcorn. And my husband's like, why the hell we got to go get some popcorn? So we go stand in line, and we stand in line for about an hour.
Yes.
And it starts raining.
Yes.
And he's like straight irritated, because he's just like, what kind of popcorn is this that we've been standing in this damn line beep so long? And, he's just going in.
Right.
So as soon as we hit the door and he smelled that popcorn,
different attitude.
He was like a crackhead.
Yeah, different attitude.
And then we got our bags, and you know how after a couple hours the bags get greasy and the kids' hands all down in their bag, because I had to have my own bag.
Yeah.
Because I do the caramel cheese. And he was just wanting to get some to get on the road to get back. But like you said, the lines was too long. But what I will tell people is I thought I was doing something. I was on my way to Myrtle Beach, I think. And they had a Garrett's in no, we were on our way to Maryland.
Okay.
And they had a Garrett's popcorn in their airport. Man, that shit was stale as hell.
Yeah, they probably shipped that there.
It was expensive as hell. And
it was Garrett's
in the airport, because it ain't the same.
It was Garrett's?
Yes.
Now hold on. They have a Garrett's. Where airport was that?
We was at, I think we landed at Washington Dulles.
I never knew that. I've been there.
So we was on our way back, and I said, "Oh, Mike, there's a Garrett's." He was like, "Get some." It was like for the little bag, it was like $20.
Okay.
And it was stale. You know how you chomp in the popcorn and it just squeezes down to nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah,
horrible.
Yeah. But Tracy, there is a Garrett's at the Chicago airport as well. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
I've never had Garrett's outside of Illinois. I mean, it's always been in Chicago. I've never had it anywhere else. I never knew it was anywhere else, to be honest with you. So I'm glad you told me.
Store, Wyatt. It was just like a little
like a kiosk.
You know how you
like a kiosk.
Those little kiosks?
Yeah. That was probably stuff that was being shipped in, and it was probably dated. You know what I mean? It
was some day old popcorn. It was a mess.
Yeah, that's crazy. But listen, you already know what time it is on that popcorn, girl. It's worth the wait when you get to the Chi, though, ain't it?
Oh yeah, he didn't know, but he'll know next time when we go back. If we go just to go shopping for the weekend, we gonna put Garrett's at the top of the list.
Yeah, for sure. And you got to give yourself. Don't be on your way to the airport and you have to be there at a certain time, because when you get there, you might be in line an hour and a half. I don't know. It's like, it's no. There's no better time to go. You go in the morning, they're gonna be full. You go in the evening, they're gonna be full. So there's no real good time to go. Now what I learned was this. Check this out. Just for those that are professionals at this, getting the popcorn thing from Garrett's, they do have an app. I learned while I was in Chicago. So what I did is I can pre-order it, and then instead of standing in line, I just cut the line and go pick up my order, and name will be on it. Your name will be on it. So as soon as you get there, you just, because the store is very small. It's probably about 400 square feet. It's very small. It can only hold so many people, but they have your pre-ordered stuff off to the side. You know what I mean, Tracy? So when you get there, you got your order on your cell phone and it's already paid for. You grab your bags and you out. So can
you imagine ordering and having a franchise here? You know how quick you would be a gazillionaire on some damn popcorn?
Well, I don't know, but I'll be honest with you. I don't know if some things, to be honest with you, are meant for where they are. I'm not fighting you on what you're saying, but I'm gonna give you a perfect example of what does not really work too well because they franchised and went out too big. And that is, and we all kind of like them. I'm a fan. I'm not a big fan, but I eat them. But the Krispy Kreme donuts,
I don't eat those.
Okay, listen, there used to be a time during college days, there used to be a time that people would drive, me included, 2 hours away. I mean, some people would go to Knoxville, Tennessee, because they're originated out of Tennessee. So some people would drive all the way to Knoxville or somewhere close to the Tennessee border just to get those donuts because they fixed them fresh. You know what I mean? They made them live and fresh. But now they put them in gas stations in the boxes. They're not fresh. And that took away from the brand. And then they also start opening stores in different cities. And I guess they had bad taste in their mouth because they was buying them at the gas stations. You know what I mean? And now they don't really seem that attractive. And so these standalone stores of Krispy Kremes aren't doing what the originals used to do as far as numbers. So,
let's just talk about hitting a lick real quick. Though.
Okay.
You 5 years and you out. You know what I mean? Everybody that can't get to Chicago, that don't want to order online, will run to your store. And in 5 years, you'll be sitting on the beach, drinking some whatever, and not even giving a damn. You'll be like, I'm selling this.
Hey, Tracy, you know what? I actually trust you. And I'm going to ask you something. If you look into what a Garrett's franchise may cost, I'm willing to look into it with you. If you do the research and you tell me, oh, no, seriously. I mean, because I know that it's a potential. You know, I know the potential in that brand, and I know the low overhead. Once you get into a company at this point, the profit margins will be there, but your profit margins as a franchisee are not going to be as large as the original stores in Chicago because we're paying all these licensing fees and we're buying everything third party. You know what I mean? From cans to the bags to everything. So, and plus we have to worry about the shipping costs and an extended shipping cost. So look into it, sis. I would be interested to know, but if it's us starting a kiosk, I think I would be out on that. I would want to do one of the little 300, 400 square foot stores. And maybe I'm going to give you a hidden secret. Okay. I'm going to give you a hidden secret. And if you run off with it without me, sis, it wouldn't first time, but I'm going to say it on the air because this is just me and you talking. Okay. We might even be able to get some subsidy from Cincinnati and Hamilton County because they're in need of businesses, and you and I being a minority, that might help. So we may be able to get some subsidy. They may give us $100,000 grant. We might be $150,000 away from what we truly need. And you never know. Some other investors may want to come in, and then you just never know how it can develop. But if you do the research, I'll do the sync with you. Okay. The sync is I'll look at the numbers and we'll see what it can do. And if it's something that's feasible, and Cincinnati would welcome it, and I mean downtown Cincinnati, because they are the ones that truly need retailers. And wouldn't it be so dope to put it right over there by that by the Black Walk of Fame? That would be dope.
That would be dope, but it would also be dope to put the second one out in
Kenwood Mall.
Yeah,
that'd be okay. I mean, I'm not gonna fight anything. I think it would be a great opportunity.
Research.
Yeah, do the research. Hit me up. You got my number. I don't have a problem looking at it. You know, I'm very blunt and straight to the point on it. I don't the Kenwood, that one, you know, it sounds good, but it sounds like it's gonna be expensive. However, Garrett's could probably hold its value. So I don't oppose it. It's just that, you know, like this can that I bought. If this can that I bought was a huge can, okay, it's that regular big drum, I'll get it. I'm gonna run a commercial and I'll go get it real fast, okay, so everybody can see it. The can that I bought was actually $80. There's people on here right now, Tracy, that's gonna think I'm stupid and crazy for buying an $80 can of popcorn. They've never tasted it, and I know that it should have only probably been $39.99. All right, but
if it's not just yours, that $80 can of popcorn will be gone in my house for in less than 3 days. We would smash that.
Yeah, it barely made it back to Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta eat it before it gets stale.
yeah, you do. But it's you know, it'll if you. That's why you get the can. Don't get them in the bags. The bags will make you. It will take shelf life off your popcorn. But if you get the can, it keeps it preserved. I'll grab the can here in a second. I'm gonna I'll do something. I'll run a 30-second commercial because it's in the other room, and I'll let everybody see what it is. But yeah, Kevin B. Phillips says we pay what we
All right,
pay
I'm
for what we
gonna put
want.
homework. I'm gonna get back with you Friday.
Okay, just pull it up. I'll look at the specs. I'll size it out, and you just never know. I don't know how. We'll do a survey. We'll do an online survey. We'll do a lot of things and see how interested people are. Maybe we'll bring some in and just do a standalone kiosk and do an experiment for about a month. Choose. Well, how many malls do you have in Cincinnati? Two legitimate malls, or just one?
What was your question? You went out.
How many legitimate malls do you have in Cincinnati? Do we have in the Cincinnati area?
One legitimate.
Okay, I was just asking. They had
gone. Northgate is a ghost town.
Okay,
you don't have nothing at Forest Fair Mall. I still call it Forest Fair.
But see, check it out.
Liberty Mall. That might,
I don't know what the traffic is in Liberty. I know it's up and coming. But there's nothing wrong with doing a pop-up shop of a garage. There's nothing wrong with trying to do something like that, like at Kenwood Mall. It would be worth it just for the research. I don't expect to make money on it.
I envision people standing outside like they do at Starbucks. That's
that's a possibility. But you got to get people hip to it. We did
the same thing with Cheesecake Factory when they came here.
Listen, speaking of that, let me say something about that. Speaking of, this is American Mall or something like that up in I can't think of what is that area up in Westchester up by
Liberty Township.
Not Liberty. It's something Liberty called Mall? The American something. It's called the American Mall or something. It's not really a mall, but it's called American Mall. It has like a barbecue place up there. I can't think of what it is, but it'll come to me. It's called the American Mall or something like that. It's nowhere near like what it's named is totally not what it looks like, but it is called the American Mall, and it's up in Westchester, up on Tylersville. Mall of America.
Oh, up that way.
Okay, Mall of America is what it's called. It's not truly a Mall of America because it's not big yet. Thanks, Fame. But let me explain what's up there. My daughter took me to a new cookie shop up there. All right, there's a new cookie store up there. It's some Sadiddy shit. I don't know what it is, but it's all these different kind of cookies that they make fresh. But I was like, $4 for a cookie? But it's the size of a cupcake, basically. All right, and you can get like 6 cookies. No, you get 4 cookies, $8 or something like that. These deals, and it's just some type of new thing they got going on. I didn't even like the cookies. All right, I don't even like them cookies. It was crumble. There you go, Angela. I knew it was some Sadiddy people on here that knew exactly what I was talking about. And Angela Kinney know what it is. Thanks, Sabrina. Queen come in and says it's the Voice of America. I think it's Mall of America. She said Voice of America. I think it's Mall of America, but I get it. I know what she's saying. But Angela Kinney Sadiddy ass came in here and told us it's called Crumble. That's the name of the cookie place. I think if Crumble can make it, I know that Garrett's could make it. Trust me. Because that cookie shop, you're going to walk out of the way. You got to put that shit on layaway as much as them cookies cost. No black people eat them cookies. I can guarantee you that. We got other shit to do with our money. But they could say that about my popcorn, couldn't they? I'm sorry. Let me leave that alone. Yeah. Joe White says, wait a minute, hold on. Crumble cookies is nasty. Tastes undone. You absolutely right. They're real thick. It's about as thick as they're as round as a cupcake. And I ate a chocolate chip cookie that tastes like I was eating chocolate chip cookie dough. Cookie dough. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. Jenny says that is in Minneapolis. No, there is Voice of America Mall. Okay, hold on. It's Mall of America. Now, the one in Minneapolis.
I'm sitting here on my computer. Let me Google it.
Okay. See, we got smart people over here. She said, let me Google it. Voice of America.
I think it is Voice of America Mall, though.
Okay, it's on Liberty. I'm sorry, it's not in Liberty. It's on Tylersville Mall. Listen, I know that Sabrina Calloway probably knows what she's talking about because that's her neck of the woods. Okay, I don't want to discredit what she's saying. I think the Voice of America Mall is the one in Minneapolis. I can look it up.
It says Voice of America Mall. That's what shopping center. That's what comes up on Google.
For where? Tylersville?
Westchester. It says Westchester.
So, Sabrina, it is Voice of America. Okay, voice is here, Westchester Mall. All right, so we got it. So it's mall is in, okay, Angela Kinney saying mall is in Minneapolis. That's a different mall.
There's the crumble cookies right next to it.
Yeah, that's listen, I don't want to badmouth them because they have investment. I don't prefer the taste myself. Okay, it's just me. I don't like the taste of the cookie, but you all go out and try it, I guess. Shit, I didn't bash it enough, so now I gotta kind of, I gotta say something positive about it. Go try it. It's not for me. My daughters and them like it though. They spend money for it. But yeah, I don't know. All you taste is eggs,
well,
flour.
I ain't gonna hold you. My dog's sitting here looking at me like, how you just gonna come in here on the phone?
Do your numbers. Do the research. Do the research. We'll kick the numbers around. I mean, I'm interested in the Garretts. I just, I'm not the type that'll work it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna work there, but I'm interested in it. It's a great. I think it would be a great opportunity. I don't even know if they do franchising, but it's worth knowing.
Okay, I'll let you know.
All right, thanks. I appreciate you, Tracy. Right. Holla.
Bye-bye.
All right, that's Tracy Dillingham. She on her shit now, y'all. She ain't gonna let this go. But Wyatt, you said you was gonna get it. Tracy don't hear shit all the way through sometimes. You know that. We didn't. Hey, she don't hear it all the way through sometime. But Wyatt, you said if I researched the shit. Now y'all know. Somebody got the clock on. Somebody got the clock on. Somebody date the time and what time it is on the clock. And let's put this shit on paper for me. File list. Because Tracy going to do the research and then it's going to sound good. She's going to say, all right, well, when you going to open? Because you said if I did this, you was going to open one. All right. I don't want to get all into that. But Garrett's is the shit. There's my plug for Garrett's. I'll go get that can here in a little bit so everybody can see it. I was gonna post it on my Facebook page, but I didn't want to get robbed. They starting to put these little trinkets on your in your car. They're these little Apple things that people are putting in your car to track you. And you got to be careful these days because the new thing is jacking. Jacking is back. Jacking is back. They back at your ass now. Let's see what's going on with my thing here. Let's see why. So now people are putting devices in your car or in your pocket, following you and robbing you. Yeah. So I'm staying away from anybody that look like they capable of doing some of that Mission Impossible shit. Putting something in my car, putting a tracking device on my car so they'll know where I'm at. I'm not on that. Paying attention. All right. So listen, couple things. Over the weekend, I was in Chicago doing what I do. And then I came back. Yeah. Hey, Tracy, you didn't win that car. You didn't win. Okay, sis, you was totally off base. That's what made me go into that little 30-second rant about how you hear shit different. But I'll go on as I digress. Check it. Monday, proud Poppy. Poppy. Monrita. Poppy. I am. My daughter, I gotta let people know what's going on with this. It's a quick one. It's not gonna take me all day to tell you and make it make sense to you. My daughter is in her final year at the Ohio State University, and she has applied for medical school. Now, what you guys have to understand is I had a few people reach out to me, and I want to say this on the air. I had a few people reach out to me saying, wait a minute, I thought your daughter was still in school, in college. Well, she is, but she's about to graduate. And some people, and I'm not trying to say we all know everything because I know I don't know, but they try to catch you in shit. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Even if I was lying, it make you feel good to catch me in a lie. Why would you even come at me like that? If I'm a liar, see, I let liars be all they can be. I learned that in life. Let people be who they want to be and let them do what they want to do. But see, I got receipts and I don't need to get into all of that. But my point is this. If something you don't understand, do your research before you come trying to check somebody. Do your research. What the white coat program is not that she is now officially a doctor. It means she's been accepted into the program of medical for the Ohio State University. That's how you get accepted. is when they accept you by your GPA, when they accept you to be one of. Do you understand that there was 1,750 applicants? 1,750 applicants for 170 spots. And then those 170 spots were dwindled down to 52 spots, and my baby fell into that 52. Yes, I'm super proud of that. So I don't need no riggedy ratty ass dude or girl coming at me asking me some old technical ass questions about, well, how did she do that when she's still in college? How would you? She can't be no doctor. Why are you telling people she's a doctor? Because you don't understand how the process works. Let me school you. Why don't you ask me in a way that will teach you something instead of coming at me like I was deceiving or being deceptive? Like I just bust up at Ohio State over on Monday yesterday, skipped everything I had to do in life just to be fronting and shit. Like I went up there and just snuck in somebody's medical classroom in the back and shot some shit. They don't let you do that, especially nowadays. They check an ID to get in everywhere. So let me explain to you how this works. She was 52 out of 1,750 people who was accepted in the medical program at Ohio State University. And that's when they give you a white coat because you're accepted in the medical program. Not because now you're a heart surgeon. Not now because you're a gem brain surgeon. You should have heard the DMs. You know, there's some hateful people in this world. As much as I want to have you, people will try to steal your joy. But one thing that I've never really, even in sports, when my kids were in sports, I never allowed anybody to make me feel like their kid was better than mine or their kid did something that my kid couldn't do. I always focused on my children. And I always focused on what their goals were. And the kids that were better at shooting a jumper faster, I was never envy because I knew the path we were going. I knew where my children were going and what they was doing. I never was upset with other kids. And I never asked parents, well, why the hell do you think your kid, why you think, you know, if your kid got better grades, he wouldn't be so dope in basketball. If he wasn't in the gym during class, he wouldn't be so good. I wouldn't say no shit like that. Because it don't matter to me. It's not my responsibility. So I thought I would share that to those haters that fall back and pretend like they're not watching. Maybe they're not watching now. Maybe they'll watch later. Maybe they're watching now and just don't let us know they're watching. Because I want to know one thing. How the hell did you even know? Keep in mind, we have a very limited audience here. However, as soon as I say something on a post or something, you'll be surprised. And I know you guys do this too. If you ever go live doing anything, you might have as much response or people don't want to show support for you. But then when you post some shit, it brings a different response. Like you got 5,000 Facebook friends on Facebook. How many of that 5,000 acknowledge your shit all the time? You can't even get 10%. You can't get 10%. Think about it. Kevin B just said 100. Let me give you a perfect example. Kevin B does things online sometime. He'll go out, I don't know, he'll go out and cut his grass. This is type shit he do. He'll go out and cut his grass and go live and be talking to people. It's just friendly talk. He might not have that many people watching. But let some shit jump off. Let it be some raggedy shit going on and he caught it on video. He had 350 people watching right then and there because he see two women fighting in the street. He happened to catch it on the video. He posts his girl getting straight A's. You get 23 likes. 900 views for some bullshit. Kevin B, you know what I'm talking about. Crystal, you the same way. These are the people that I watch and I see. Crystal's daughter just started college this year. I don't think I missed a post that you put out, sis, that was pertaining to Mia going off to school. I don't think I missed a heart on any of them. And if I did, I apologize. It might have snuck through me. You know what I mean? It might have went by me when I was doing something else. I might have been distracted. But my goal is to show support to whatever the children are doing. Now, I might not be there for everything you and I doing. But the kids, they get that. They get that from me. Any achievements your children are doing, I'm there. I'm gonna plug it. But it's amazing. I got 5,000 Facebook friends. And the only reason why I say 5,000 Facebook friends is because I got 5,000 Facebook friends because that's what Facebook named that shit. That ain't what I name it. I got 5,000 people on some shit that Facebook created that they call friends. I'll be creative down the line somewhere else, and like I came up with Chaos Agent, I'll come up with what the Facebook friends, what the other 4,990 are to me. Because I probably only got about 10 friends truly on Facebook. Or 10 people that give a shit about anything. And it's funny because, yeah, I'll be honest. Put up something nice. You put up something nice. I put up something nice. You'll be surprised. Let me ask you, have you ever done this? Now, I don't know if I'm trying to like, maybe it's me. Maybe people don't do this, but maybe I'm about to share something that I do and it might not make you feel bad. Or maybe you'll hear me say this and be like, you do that? But yeah, I pay attention to who like my stuff. I pay clear attention. I actually pay attention to who likes my stuff. You know why? Because it lets me know who really see stuff all the time. And they pick and choose what they like. So when my daughter do something, they might pop in and say, that's nice, hot, thumbs up. But when I do some shit, crickets. I get 280 likes for my daughter. That's fine. I love it. Great. It's support. Just letting y'all know. I'm not taking it for granted. It's not that I dislike it. I love it. I wouldn't put it out there if I didn't want the response. But keep in mind, 280 people, 260 of y'all are brand new to me. You don't say nothing throughout the whole year. You don't say nothing. Is that me being ungrateful? Should I shut up now? Should I be like Wyatt? Would you rather just have 23 likes? It just lets me know sometime that when you put a post out there and it gets no response, and it might be a serious matter. Like, for instance, I'll give you a perfect example. When I say something true like this, 4 years ago, gas was $3.89 a gallon. Who's seen that post I put out? Y'all ready for that? Y'all ready for the numbers? Y'all ready for everybody to go away when I speak this truth? I'm not going to talk about this today. I just want to give you an example of what I'm talking about. 4 years ago, gas was $3.89 a gallon, which was unbelievable. Was crazy high. Don't even sound right now because gas is over $5. So $3.89 sound respectful now. Sound like, oh, we could do that shit. Where that $3.89 gas at? 4 years ago, $3.89 gallon gas was coming off of $1.75, $1.89, $1.99. So $3.89 sound crazy, right? And you know what people were saying 4 years ago? You know who they were blaming for $3.89 gas? Somebody put it in the screen. I don't want to tell the whole story by myself. Who were they blaming 4 years ago for $3.89 gas? Oh, wait. They were blaming Trump. They were blaming Trump for gas being $3.89. Now, I'm not going to make this political. I'm just going to show you how hypocrisy works. They were blaming him for $3.89 gas. And you know what they were saying to him? You know what they were saying? If you don't believe me, go to my Facebook page when the show is over, or you can go now and look at the post that I have. And it shows. Now, I didn't play the video. I got a full video showing that Democrats went in front. Now, this is not political. This is not me attacking anybody. I'm just showing you hypocrisy, how it works and how we get confused, how we get thrown off. And I'm going to tell you why we get thrown off. I'm going to tell you why distractions come up at certain points of our life. I'm going to tell you. 4 years ago, gas was $3.89 and Democrats went freaking crazy. And you know what they said? They held press conferences and they said things like, this is Trump. This is Trump and Trump's policies. So the same shit you're hearing from Republicans right now, saying the same thing about Biden, what are Democrats saying? What's the excuse they're using for Biden right now? The same excuses that Biden is giving. Oh, this is Putin's price hike. It's not. You got to understand. Here's the other thing I can't stand. I can't stand when people say shit like they have leases to drill. You are captured in a conversation that is led by people that don't even explain to you the process. There's leases to drill is an easy excuse. It's magic numbers. It's somebody explaining to you that the reason why they have a record-breaking profits is because they're holding gas and they're holding oil and, fossil fuel. They're holding all that shit hostage. They're gouging. They're doing all that. It's a false narrative. And people who try to make you believe the shit that Biden is saying about this, they don't really know. I promise you they don't know. They're sitting here talking about there's leases to drill. That's true. They do have 9,000 leases to drill. They could be drilling in those leases. I'm going to use this scenario for you. Synopsis. This is what I'm going to say to you. If us, the Wyatt-Live family, owned a company and it was called Wyatt Bottled Water, and we were the only manufacturer of bottled water in the United States of America, and they had all these other small companies bottling water, and all of a sudden the United States government comes in and says, you guys can't make bottled water anymore. And we got to buy all our bottled water from Saudi Arabia or China or wherever. I don't care if it comes from Canada. It is not coming from here. But then the government looks at me and say, hey, Wyatt, what you're allowed to do, you're allowed to bottle the water. You're allowed to make bottled water. And I say, okay, fine. But not only do I have the permission, the lease, to be able to go and get the water out of a certain well or a certain, stream. I need to be able to do, I need to be able to make spring water. You got to understand there's legalities that come with making water as well. You can't just go put shit in the bottle. There's surveys. There's things that you have to do as a bottled water company, just like gas companies. And just because I have a survey or a permission, a lease to drill does not mean I have all my surveys and have all my permits that are signed off by the government for me to be able to do it. Now, the lease means I can drill. It means I can actually drill to get oil. But you need to survey the area or you'll just spend $30 million drilling for oil and it'll be a dead run. What company is going to invest $30 million without doing all the proper procedures to dig for oil? So if you run a survey, you have a higher percentage of being successful at finding oil in that ground spot. But if all you have is the lease, it's a coin toss. It's a $30 million, $35 million coin toss for you to start drilling, not knowing what's at the end of the ground. Who would do that? Who would do that? Who would spend $30 million on a guess? That's just like you giving me the lease to be able to do the bottled water. Us, if we were working together as a company, I would say we might want to stop making bottled water and allow America to buy their water from overseas or in Canada, because as a business owner, I don't want to have the liability of not being able to survey my water. In other words, test my water before we start selling it to the people. Because now there's liabilities in there where people can get sick because, they allowed us to make the water, but they didn't give us the permit to be able to survey the water to see if it was clean. So now if I'm going to give people the water and it's dirty water, now I'm open to be sued. So I take on that same liability that a gas company or a drill company would take on when they're drilling unsure of what they're drilling into because they didn't get permits to do a survey. So explain to me how having a lease, all 9,000 of them, is significant when you can't do surveys of the land. Has anybody explained that portion to you? Has anybody see? I know that's when people leave because they don't really want the answer. They want the small, cut down, clip it version. You want that one so you can continue to believe what you want to believe. The truth is sometimes not what you really want to know. You just want the watered down version, so to say. No pun intended. So the next time you hear some shit, and here's the other thing. I'm going to say this to you. A lot of people, this $5 gas shit, I know there's drop. I know it's $7 in Cali right now. Okay. I know what it is in Cali. I know what it was in Chicago when I was there. Cincinnati got $5 gas. Chicago then already had $5 gas. It's $5.48 when I left there. It was $5.48 as of Saturday or some shit like that. I left on Sunday, but I got gas. Yeah, it was $5.48. So let me tell you something. Inflation is on the way. Interest rates are about to go up through the feds. Y'all don't even see it yet. We're supposed to be protected. Listen, the first group of people who will be affected by all of this, it's middle class. If you get up and go to work every day, you're going to feel the pain before anybody else. If you're sitting at home all day, playing PlayStation, not doing shit, you ain't putting gas in your car. You're not eating as much because you're kind of not using as much, you're not using your body much. But it's the hardworking people that will feel inflation and will feel all this gas shit harder than any of us. Let me tell you why. I seen a father and a son at the gas station the other day. The guy asked for $35 worth of gas. You see how people chime out? Y'all see how people chime out when it get down to the real shit? I guess I'm lying. I guess when you say something different than what people really have heard, they can't take it. Or they take it and run and be like, all right, give me my ball, I'm going home type shit. But let me just say this. I really wish the people that needed to hear this would have stuck around and heard this part right here. The people who are going to suffer the most are the people that go to the gas station and say, let me get $10 on pump 8. It's going to take them longer to understand what's really going on than it is the people that fill up every time they go. I'm going to be honest. This is not me being no bougie dude. This is me trying to control my money. I'm a money manager. I don't let my car go under half full. And the reason being is because I try to manage my money to my gas tank. I've been doing that my whole life. Not my whole life, but pretty majority of my living adult life. I've been doing this. My car is either on half full or full. And the reason why I do that is so I can manage my money better. You know who this is going to hurt, but you won't see it at the beginning? It's going to be the people that say, let me get $10 on pump 8. And they're going to drive for a day and a half. And they're going to be right back at the gas station wanting another $10 on pump 9 this time. And then they're going to come back at the end of the day and be like, I ain't got no more fucking gas. What the hell going on? That's when they'll discover it. The people that fill up and get $40 and $50, or if you all the way on E and you put $81 or $78 worth of gas in your car, you feel it right away. And it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time for the people who going to be affected the most, who going to start screaming. It ain't kicked in yet. You on your second or third, this shit is crazy. You on your second, this shit is crazy. And then by your fourth or fifth, this shit is crazy. That's when you really going to be like, oh, something got to be done. Something got to be done. I'm going to get on that Cleopatra Jones. She says 401ks are already taking a hit. Try to retire in the next 24 months. Your career has already extended a whole year just based on what the economy is doing right now. These are things that we're not talking about. Here's the other thing right here. Angela Kinney says that's how some folks can manage their money, though. I know what you're saying. I'm saying those people that you're talking about putting $10 in the tank at a time. I'm not criticizing it, sis. What I'm saying is it's going to hit them a little bit later than it would a person that puts $70 in their tank. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you're putting $10 at a time in your tank, it's rough out here for you. It's rough out here. And it's gonna hit you after you didn't put $10 on pump 8 a few times. Then you're gonna really realize it. It's a slower process, but it's coming. It's coming. And then go to the grocery store. And I'll get to the 401ks here in a second. Go to the grocery store. I went in the grocery store during Memorial Day. Been there again a couple times since then. I can't spend $150. I can't go in there without spending $150 coming out with what look like groceries. Groceries. For the working class folks, us. Black Fox in the building, y'all. For the working class folks, us. That shit is going to hit us extremely hard. For people that's on fixed income, good luck. This is the craziest shit ever. I said to myself, this is a time that, I'm glad my grandmother is not around. Of course I would help. I would take care of her. But everybody don't have me. Everybody don't have you. Everybody don't have a son or a granddaughter. There's people in living on their own. No family. On fixed incomes. And it's a sad situation. No one's talking about it. You know why no one's talking about it? Because of distractions. You know what y'all distracting on right now? Gun violence. Gun laws. Now, that's not really a distraction that should not be talked about. But it's a distraction any distraction that creates divide, anything that creates division could be a distraction for other things that are more important. Wyatt, are you saying that gun violence is not important? Why is it so important now based on mass shootings versus how shootings have been going on in our communities for years? What's the difference? Somebody could tell me. I know the difference between the shootings. I'm talking about why is there more precedent now? When them same mass shootings happen. I was just in Chicago over the weekend. 17 shootings. 17? Like that was some light work. But now there's focus on areas, and you know what the focus is? Them damn Democrats, them damn Republicans. They don't want to make this change. They don't want to make that change. Well, if you change everything, if you gave everybody what they wanted right now, both sides, if you gave the Democrats and you gave the Republicans everything they wanted on this gun violence stuff right now, shit would not change. Young folks will still have access to guns. Young folks will still have the mentality to use a gun. Laws don't stop people from being criminals. Laws is for punishing people that do criminal acts. I don't know if you guys get it or not, but laws are not deterrents at this point. There was a standoff in another city. I just heard it as I was about to come on the air at Home Goods in a city. A barricade shooter. Like they ain't been seeing the shit that's going on. You really think or she, whoever barricaded in there shooting people and shit, do you really think that they give a shit about the laws? Do you think the gangbangers in Chicago or in Lawton, Oklahoma, do you think these guys give a shit about laws? And you already talking. Here's the thing. Didn't I tell you on Friday or Thursday? I think we did a show on Thursday. Didn't I tell you that as soon as we have one shooting, because here in Ohio, I think it is, Ohio started yesterday, the non-conceal law. The first shooting that happens in the city of Cincinnati, Columbus, or anywhere in Ohio, the first thing y'all gonna do is say, see, I knew it was gonna be the Wild Wild West. The first shooting happened on Friday. I said, or Thursday, I said, listen, keep a note of this. Remember, this shooting happened before the new law. I want y'all to remember shootings up to date, all the way up to June, whatever it was, June, I think 11th or whatever, 11th. 10th or June 10th or 11th. I said, I want y'all to keep count of all the shootings that happened up to June 10th or 11th. And then I want you to tell me at the end of the year if you feel like shootings escalated because of the new carry and conceal law. Here's the thing. Have you thought about this? The police don't want this same law any more than you guys do. You know why? Because they don't want to have to approach somebody that don't have to tell them if they have a weapon. And some people, chaos agents, can't help but think everything is against you. Here they didn't put a study together. Cincinnati.com put a study together saying some shit like this new law will benefit black folks because black folks are more likely to catch a case. I'm putting it in my terms. Black folks are likely to catch a case without this new law. So you still gonna say, you'll find chaos agents will still find a way to make this shit about them. Oh, you know what they gonna do? This get them the reason to just shoot a black man. When in fact, the study says more black folks probably won't catch a case based on the research. We won't catch little bullshit ass carry and concealed weapon charges. But that don't mean I even heard somebody say something ridiculous like, well, what about the people that used to get in trouble? Shouldn't that shit be expunged from their record because they was carrying a gun? No, they was breaking the law when the law was what it is. If you sold drugs when drugs were illegal to sell and you sitting in jail doing 10 years, now that same drug is legal, no, you don't get out. You broke a law. You don't get out because now it becomes legal. It was illegal when you did it. That's the law. I'll answer that for you. And if you feel any different, I don't know how people live feeling like that. I'm not judging. I'm just saying I don't know why you would think that you're privileged because now things have changed. Delita, what's good, sis? She says, first question should be asked is how all these guns are accessible to the criminals. It's just like drugs. I keep telling you, there's so many laws on drugs, but you can get your hands on anything, right? Right or wrong? Can you get any drug that you want? If you're a dope fiend, you can get whatever you want. If you're in the streets, you can get any gun you want. It's called black market. No matter how you distance yourself, or no matter how the law's set up, New York, LA, Chicago, all of these cities are in states that have strenuous gun laws. It makes it impossible for dealers to sell guns. It makes it impossible for underage people to buy guns from dealers. But they always get them. And if you ban guns in every state, people will still have guns. It's like dope. Tell me where cocaine use is approved and granted by the United States government. Show me a state that approves cocaine for recreational use. If I'm not mistaken, cocaine is a recreational drug used in I don't know a state in America that don't have cocaine in it. I don't know a state in America that don't have fentanyl. I don't know a state in America that don't have marijuana, that don't have methamphetamine. Show me one. And all of them have laws against it. Delita is on her conspiracy theory trip again, I can see. She says, who's allowing the black market? The black market is what the black market is. Okay, let me ask you this, Delita. We're going to just try to make some sense. There's a black market at everything. You do know that, right? But we're going to keep it common for us common folks. I know how I can make a phone call right now. If you wanted something for Victoria's Secret, I can get anything you want out of there on the black market. But who's allowing the black market to happen? So because there's a black market in retail, that means somebody allowing it to happen, or are there cricks and all those different situations? Or is there just a conspiracy that stores allow so much of their shit to be stolen on purpose so the black market can exist? Help me. Help me. And then to just let me use your logic. Let's just say that the black market on guns are being allowed by whoever you say. Let's say the government, let's say the states are allowing black market guns to come into your cities. Who are they coming in there for? Who are they allowing the guns to be used on? Because the majority of the guns that enter our community, in the black community, it's not the police killing us. It's not the white guys killing us. The white supremacist groups that everybody's so fucking fear of. It's not them killing us. Who are using these illegal black market guns? The majority of them are being used by who on who? I'll wait. So I don't get all too much in these. See, conspiracy theories get you thinking, and it gets your mind off of other things that really could be that could really make a change. Like, for instance, I know I shouldn't go here, but I'm gonna go here with this one thing. Who in the hell has been seeing this thing on this Roe versus Wade with abortion? Who's been watching that? Have you seen the protesters outside of the judges' homes? You can't tell me them some regular people out there walking around them people's house. Just look at them, fam. Just look at these motherfuckers over here. You can't tell me those are regular people walking around that person's hitting drums. They all look like they part of some type of program. They all look like they paid to be chaos agents. That's what they put on their application. I'm a protester / chaos agent. I'm here to bang the drums. I'm a background dancer. I'm a drum beater. I'm going to yell in the megaphone. These are people that obviously filled out an application to do that madness. Now, who hired them to do that? You don't think that's form of a conspiracy? You don't think there's a group of people that are trying to create? You don't think that leak that came from where? The justice's office? You don't think that leak was on purpose to create so much chaos during this time of year for the distraction of the divide? You don't think that was on purpose? You really think that those people leaked that because they truly care? Lobbyists don't do that. Let's get a true definition of what a lobbyist is. That's not what lobbyists do. Look up the definition of a lobbyist. A lobbyist is a profession. You go to school to do that. A lobbyist is someone that writes contract, well, not necessarily contract, may write somewhat of a legal opinion. A lot of lobbyists have a legal background. Well, you know what? Cleopatra just said, U.S. is killing us. I'm going to try and find that video where the black guy said the CIA and FBI drops crates of guns in the alley in the black community, Randall Wyatt. I'm going to tell you right now something that I thought I would never say. But I know how illegal guns get on the street. I know from experience. I've never bought illegal guns. I've never sold illegal guns, but that don't mean that I don't know people who have. And I'm going to tell you right now, it ain't never been no white man or no government FBI agent that put the guns in the hand of my guy in Detroit, who was running guns from Detroit down to Miami. We were very good friends. He was a gun dealer. He dealt illegal guns. He bought guns that were damn near new, that were just like back in the old days when they would hit the trucks and things like that. I'm just being honest with you. It is very easy for us to say things like the government is dropping guns in the alley, when in fact I'm not doubting that. But what I'm saying is I doubt it's for the reason that you may think it is. Now, do government officials get involved with certain things that help put their investigations in order? When they know these group of people, you got the vice lords in Chicago, vice lords versus the disciples. Could the law be assisting these guys from killing each other? Probably so. It's a possibility. I'm not suggesting that they are. I'm saying it's a possibility. But in that exchange of doing business with them guys and helping that shit do what it do, there's going to be some what we call, I guess us civilians would call collateral damage. There's going to be some of them guns that's going to get out there and then be involved in robberies. They're going to get some of them guns going to be involved in some of the stuff that's illegal. But let's just do the math. Let's do the math. If guns was the reason why all these shootings were going, the reason, not the thing that's being used, but if guns were the reason, we would have a whole lot more shootings and a whole lot more funerals and a whole lot more deaths in America, because there's like, I don't know, 10 times the amount of guns as there are people. 20 million guns, 22 million guns per person, they're saying. Or no. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that. I didn't mean to say it that way. There's more guns in the gun community than there are people in the gun community. There's people that never held a gun in their life. There's people that would see a gun sitting on the ground, my daughters being one of them because they was raised that way, that would walk the other way. They wouldn't think nothing about how they can come up, how they can give it to me for Father's Day. They wouldn't think about if it was loaded, unloaded. They wouldn't think none of that shit. They would see it and go the opposite way. They would absolutely go the opposite way. I'm going to take a phone call. Good evening, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, Wyatt. Linda Matthews. How are you?
Hey, Linda Matthews. Long time no talk to. How you doing this evening, sis?
I am well. I promised someone on the thread that I would call in one day. And I think today is a good day to talk about these guns.
Okay. Floor is yours.
You're always very, very honest with people. And you always give us information that is very important that other people are kind of afraid to say.
Okay.
But people have to go back to legislation. And I just sent you some legislation. I'm trying to get it up so I can read a little bit of it.
Okay.
This legislation was written, and this has nothing to do with whether you are, I'm trying to open it up on my phone at the same time that I'm talking to you, and I'm having a hard time doing it.
That's okay. Just give me the gist of it.
I sent it to you in Measure.
Okay. I'll try
so
to find it. So
you can open it up and look at it, and you can see the dates where there was legislation back in the 1800s about not allowing
allowing African Americans to have guns.
Right.
This was legislation passed by the Democratic Party.
Both.
And, you know, we don't understand what's really kind of going on.
I understand exactly what black code is. I studied it in school. It was called black code.
This has never been legislated away. It's still on the books.
Well, it may be on the books, but they probably have done amendment to it. And what I mean by that is, and Linda, I could be off base, but what I mean by that when I say some laws still right where we don't have rights, but they have been amended. It may not have been erased out, but it had amended.
Not this one.
About
us not. This was a law that was written back in the Black Code. Is 1865.
Right.
And it's basically saying that, you know, if, you know, you can post it for people to read it for themselves. But it was the Democratic legislator of North Carolina that passed the code that was published in 1825. No slave shall go armed with a gun, sword, club, or weapon, or shall keep any other weapon, or shall hunt or range with a gun in the woods upon presence of whatsoever. And I haven't seen any legislation that, you know, has changed to be made anything different. I think what has saved us is the Second Amendment. And, you know, most people don't read these amendments, our Constitution, to learn about the Second Amendment. And the Second Amendment was really for us to bear arms against government. And it seems like everybody looks at, you know.
I agree with you. And
they overlook it and put everything else with that, except for what the legislation was about. It was about making sure you have your guns to protect yourself against government.
Okay.
So
let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, Linda, because you said something, and I will lose train of thought, but I want your opinion on this. Go back and did you? I think you were reading a portion. You said in 1865 it said what? You said certain what?
Let me get it back up.
You said certain people, and then I'm gonna probably cut in when you say what you say so I can make my point. Okay. And it's not me being rude. I just want to warn you that when you say what you say, I want you to hear what you said. Now, you probably want you to just slow it down when you get to that point.
Well, there was one, it was different places in the South. So you had the North Carolina that passed one in 1825.
Okay.
And then there was one in Georgia in 1833. And it was passed the Black Code, you know, just like you said, it was the Black Code.
Right. And I know about that. Trust me. I learned about the Black Code in the 6th grade, Linda. And let me tell you where the debunction is in that whole situation. Black folks ain't going to want to hear me say this. This is one of us. This is one of them things that sound like this is where we got them, where they're against us. But I gotta tell you, the Black Code starts out by saying this: no slave shall go armed with gun, sword, club, or weapon. Here's the thing. Is slavery still a thing? Is slavery a thing in America now? Or
is it still a thing?
I'm sorry?
Are you asking me that?
Well, I'm asking you, is slavery, I'm not talking about working slaves. I'm not talking about like a working person who feel like they slaving every day at work. I'm saying, is slavery still a thing in America? Is it legal to slave someone?
Is it legal to put someone in slavery?
Correct.
You know, I think we're just in a new model of slavery.
Yeah, but that's not what 1865 was. 1865 was true slavery is what they're referring to. And they were saying slaves. They emphasized me. You got to understand, I was a freaking Malcolm X as a child. This one right here, this Black Code bothered me. I was fighting exactly where you going with it? I was there. And I came with all kind of stuff. But I found out the amendment is not the fact that they had to rewrite something. It's the fact that something went away, and that was slavery. So it dilutes the entire code is what I'm trying to tell you. So when I was arguing, wait a minute, they're telling me, now these are Black professors, Mr. Stinson, was telling me, I was a 6th grade guy. He was a teacher at our school, but he was also a professor at the University of Cincinnati at night school. And I would fight him because I wanted to be right. And he was like, well, you got to understand what took away slavery in America. What amendment was that? Slavery was abolished, correct? So if you're not referring to, this is just like in contract. This is how people get caught up in contracts that's why contracts are so long, because legally, when something happens early in a contract, but then the end or the 3rd paragraph of a contract, it can debunk that entire first paragraph, where if something changes, that first paragraph means absolutely nothing.
True.
That's what the 1860, that's what this is. There's something that changed in law that totally debunked the 1865 Black Code. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
He's a professor of law at George Washington University, and this is up to today. He says some of the earliest gun control legislation was in fact being aimed directly at Black people. Immediately after the Civil War, the Southern states in 1865 and 66 passed those Black codes.
True.
And among other things, the Black codes prohibited the new free Black population from having weapons.
True.
In fact, that was one of the principal reasons for the passage of the 14th Amendment. And it was basically to attack the Black codes and also to apply to the Bill of Rights, specifically the Second Amendment to the states.
Now, so everything you said is fact. Trust me, everything you just said is fact. However, the Constitution applies to all what?
All people.
All Americans, correct?
So all Americans.
Remember what I told you? Whatever's said in the first page of a contract can be denounced in the 3rd paragraph. That's what the Constitution does, because the Constitution, what is it? The second Amendment says what? Everyone has the right to bear arms.
Everyone.
All Americans. So if you're an American citizen, you're not considered a slave, because slavery in America is what? It's definitely against the law, right? Now, we're not talking. I just seen somebody say something about, I think it had to be Delita. I think Delita said something about if you go to jail. No, that was Cleopatra. She said, if they go to jail. Let me just be honest and tell you this. Even jail, even inmates, people that go to jail still have constitutional rights. They may lose state rights. They may lose some federal rights, but they cannot be enslaved.
Right.
They can't be slaves.
Although they do still do the same thing they did back in the day.
What's that?
All of our young men and women who are incarcerated are doing like agriculture, making those belts we wear. They work for a lot of different companies, use the labor of our men and women who are incarcerated and pay them a little bit.
Yeah,
so
but let me say this.
For me, let
me say this to you, Linda, on that point, and I'm gonna let you finish. When you say that, you got to understand that when you go to the penitentiary, you have that option to do that. There's some people that don't do shit when they go to the penitentiary. I mean, they don't go get a GED, they don't get a job, they sit there and do their time, and then ain't nothing you can do about it. But there's some people that go in there because they don't have you and I, mom and dad, and all that to send them $5 a month. Don't have anything.
Oh boy, don't I know?
They don't have anything. So it's one of them situations where if they choose to work, they could be telemarketers or they could be hair cutters. There's so many different things you can do. But don't sit back and say they being enslaved because that's what they choose. I'm not for people going to jail and working for like industrial stuff that's going on out here. I quite frankly think it takes away from the economy. That's me personally.
Exactly what's going on.
Well, remember the workhouse in Cincinnati?
I remember the workhouse downtown Cincinnati under City Hall.
Yeah, I remember that.
There used to be workhouse, several of them.
I remember I used to see them
downtown. I think it was one at downtown
Queensgate. No. What's that? Mitchell? Over there on Mitchell? Remember that? Where's that on
Mitchell?
Is that Mitchell?
One.
Mitchell Avenue. What's that exit right there off Mitchell? It's Mitchell exit, but what was that workhouse called down there? Somebody will know, because everybody, daddy didn't been there one time. My daddy was there before.
I forgot. I just remember as a child seeing my grandmother's brother who was incarcerated, and we went to the city hall, and he was down. If you go down through the walkway, the side of City Hall, and you go in the entrance there, you will see some of the historical where all the jails were and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where they used to be at. You could see them in the windows right there, from outside. I saw my uncle, my grandmother's brother, who was incarcerated. He was down there, but I was a child, so
right. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
hey, listen, that information, I would have never bought the black code up myself. So I appreciate you, Linda, for bringing that to the table, because we probably should have a conversation about that one day for those that really want to know who set the tone on all this gun situation and where direction it actually came from. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I think once we look at the historical points and then look at what's happening today, then we have a better understanding and stop just being, like you say, listening to the chaos agents,
right?
And really get real, true facts,
right?
And then when we get the facts, we can make better decisions.
Linda, can I ask you a question?
Like Cleopatra said, we have to also come up with some real innovative and creative ideas on how we're going to deal with our young men and women shooting at each other, killing each other. Cleopatra was right on it. Us is killing us.
Well, yeah.
We're doing the job for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And now,
between
Linda, let me ask you.
and that, we're at 12%, and those numbers have never went up as far as our population growth. Everybody's population is growing, but ours.
Yeah, there's several reasons for that. There's several reasons for that, and it's not
reasons, but those are two of the big ones where the numbers are.
One of the other reasons is not. I want to kind of say something that I have this thing about everything affecting the black community when they like to label the black community as being affected by crime and our numbers of population going down because of crime. That's not necessarily the whole fact.
No, it's not.
Our race has been diluted by other races as well. You know what I mean? Like, we got brothers and sisters that are marrying, Latinos, that are marrying whites, that are marrying Germans, just different people. And that tends to knock your population down as well.
I agree with you 100%.
Linda Matthews, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Are you ever gonna? Didn't you run for like city council of Cincinnati or something like that?
I did.
Are you ever gonna do it again?
I don't know. That's something to think about, because you get such backlash from your own people.
Oh.
When I talk, I'm bringing facts and truth, but they listen to the chaos agent and they buy into it, and then they get what they get. So it's like, that's something to think about. I don't know if I want to waste my energy with it now, because I'm coming with innovation and creativity, and I'm trying to create things that get us out instead of getting us into another program.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Do I? I'm with you, sis.
I am not on the program.
No.
The programs have never been designed for us to win.
Well, no, programs are sustains you in the situations that you're already in. They're not really there to get you better. All right, and that's hard talk. That's hard talk, and a lot of people ain't gonna really understand that, sis.
No,
they think they winning. They think they winning.
The pushback.
Yeah.
Because I don't go along with the people that they like to see or that they constantly believe, and they get nothing out of it, Yeah. And so I'm saying, hey, here's this, and but they can't even go with that because of party affiliation or something like that. But it's like, don't be looking at the party, look at the person,
right,
and what they bring to the table.
I agree.
Because we're still holding up the same signs from 1968. We want
Wait a minute, sis. Have you been listening?
We still begging.
Have you been listening?
Since 1968.
Have you been listening to the Wyatt-Live show or something?
Every day.
Is that so? You and I be right here. We like this because I say the same. Well, we say the same thing. It's right. Like, damn.
We still begging for the same thing, but you keep. So, like you say, if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same result.
There you go.
So it's like, y'all, what more has to happen for you to believe that what you believe is not really for you?
There you go. Sis, I need a promise. I need a promise from you right on the air. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Okay.
What's that?
I need a promise. Say, I promise, Wyatt.
What, Wyatt?
Oh, you don't trust me? Oh shit. All right.
I promise, Wyatt.
Oh, that's a true sister, right? Let me tell you, I need you to promise me that whenever I can't do the show, you'll fill in for me one day.
I would love to fill in for you, Wyatt.
You promise that?
You're the only one that I have ever bothered to call in and say anything because I know that your heart is true and the information that you give changes lives, whether they agree with you or not. But you don't leave nothing unturned. You speak truth and you tell truth all the freaking time.
Whether they want to hear it or not.
Like, some people grab it and some don't. I grab it.
Thank you.
So I would love to come in and do your show because I think what you're doing really, you need to be another Hughley. You know what I'm saying? That's where you need to be at because what you're saying is what our people need to hear. Instead of telling them lies and all that, just speaks total truth. And I think it'll change lives if they listen to you.
Well, I appreciate it, sis. And what honors me more than anything from you saying that is I know that you watch and listen to other programs, platforms. And that means a lot coming from you. Plus and I'm not just saying this. I'm not trying to sound like Biden because he say shit like this all the time. I'm not just saying this to be friends, shit like that. But I'm not saying that just because. I mean it because of I know that you are around those other platforms and I know you listen and I know you make comments. And so it means more than if you randomly said that and I didn't know who you were and I'd be like, oh, okay, all right, I hear you. But no, you're engaged in all the other platforms. You give them a chance. Listen, that's the beauty in what we do. The beauty is you can still be a customer or you can still be a listener somewhere else. That don't mean you have to agree. I listen to local, I listen to national stuff, but I'm going to hit local real fast. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that they talk about, but you don't hear me being a chaos agent on any of their platforms. You don't hear me talk bad about them and all that old shit, but I will rebuttal what they say. And I will say what I feel and what I know some of the facts are against some of the opinions that they have. So that's the difference. I don't argue opinion. I argue fact.
That's right. And you never get facts. You just get propaganda and what they're getting paid to say. So, it is what it is. That's how they make their living.
Oh, Linda, they talking about I paid you. Linda, Linda, they saying that I paid you to say that.
No, you sure didn't. I mean, I've been around the block for a while.
Check is in the mail, Linda. Check is in the mail. All right, you got anything else, sister? We'd love to see you on city council.
Well, it's really a lot of people are asking me what I run, but the thing of it is, if I won, are you going to vote for me? Are you going to keep voting for the same people and getting the same thing?
I understand.
And we didn't had enough happen in this city: gentrification, job loss, food shortages, milk, and all these other things that are happening. And you're still going to run out. And so that doesn't make your mind kind of switch and say, well, wait a minute, hold up.
Right.
Why am I getting the short of the end of the stick? I'm still asking for the same thing my great grandmother was asking for.
But Linda,
my great grandmother was born. I was down there in the West End, right with you, Wyatt.
I know.
My grandmother grew. We lived at 839 Poplar Street, up in the Stanley Row. Okay. My grandmother was born in 1884. Who raised me? So, I was right down there with you when we had a thriving economy in our community and we had love. We just had love. We had a lot of other things going on in our community. Now we don't, in our neighborhood. Yeah. We had a neighborhood.
Right.
Now we got community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, so it's totally different from when we came up.
Absolutely.
And we're asking for the same thing. My great grandmother was born in 1884, and her mother was a slave. So I heard from it firsthand what her life experience was when she came here to Cincinnati in 1937. So when you get it firsthand of people's lives and experiences, I don't need to read a book.
It hit different, don't it? It hit way different. My grandmother used to tell me stories.
We're still holding up the same signs. We're still asking for the same thing. And, when are you gonna quit asking and change and do something different?
Well, because the same people that you holding those signs and looking for the change to come to, they're only giving you false hope, false promise. And then they give you a whole nother different direction to look for hope of what you're looking for instead of sticking to that's why you get those distractions. See, we're gonna be arguing about Wade versus Roe and all that old shit for for abortion. That is on totally distract what really needs to happen from your politician that you asking to do what you really need. And then and that's not even a thing yet. Keep in mind, these people are out there protesting on something that's not even happening yet. Not even, it was a leak. And they talking about, and here's the other thing. You got people standing out here talking about January the 6th. They didn't kept that shit alive for 2 straight years.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
But they don't even know what's going on with 401ks. They don't even know what's going on with the economy.
Losing their livelihood. They're losing their
Linda Matthews, we got 509 gas, and these people talking about January the 6th.
I know. I mean, I was out in Mason earlier. Gas was $5.18 a gallon.
Oh my God.
You know, it's like y'all sitting here talking about this over here. When the people pay, they spending $250 just to fill up their tank.
Hey, listen.
You know, come on.
Sis, the distraction is real. It's been going on since the 60s that my studies begins in the early 60s. Okay. That's right. I was not born in the 60s nor the 50s, but my studies of my interest lied in the economics of America from the 60s on up. It was like 54 on up. Okay. And that's where I concentrated what was changing, what needed to truly change. And it was never governmental systems. It was never, if you really want to do something for someone, you have to open up capital. You can't keep producing systematic systems or systematic programs that are supposed to work for people that don't even know how to utilize that same system that they have created.
Every program I've developed that made people step up another way in life, people didn't want it. They want to keep you there because that's how they make their money. Why would I solve a problem when I'm making $250,000 a year? Why would I want to solve it? I mean, like it makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
Why would I want to solve a problem of hunger if my salary paying me $300,000 a year? If I solve it, then I'm not going to get paid anymore.
Exactly. Right? And I can give you another one that's probably a little bit more sensitive to the soul. That's a little bit more sensitive to a lot of people, but I'm going to say it. Do you know how much money cancer research creates?
Oh, man, don't get me started.
So why would I even want to cure cancer?
Come on.
If I could make the money that I'm making in the research, in the attempt, cancer research and cancer study and all that is optimistic. Okay. They're selling hope. When in fact, I'm sure of course, there's people that everyone's not going to live through something like that, but there are people that make it through. My mother is a cancer survivor. So I know
I didn't make it.
I'm sorry.
I said my mom didn't make it.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Like I said, and I use cancer as a thing where I think as much money as they raise, that there are studies that still go on that let certain people live through certain situations. Okay. It's just like, it's just like anything else. You're going to have your casualties of the whole war of whatever they're doing. Okay. But you just got to know that sometimes it's more profitable. Like, for instance, I'll give you one that's not as sensitive to the soul right now. I'll say this Ukraine war. We've sent 70 or 80 billion dollars to Ukraine for a war that they're going to lose. Why are we sending money to Ukraine and utilizing our sources of military action stuff, our materials? Why are we spending our money on that instead of actually being in the war and sending troops and ending this shit? Because they're making money off of the products that they're sending over there to Ukraine. It only makes sense. Ukraine is going to lose that war. They can't beat them. I don't care if you sent them you can send Ukrainian soldiers anything but a missile, a nuclear missile. You can send them everything over there. They're still going to lose because they're not big enough. Okay, they're not big enough to win. But we have involved ourselves to the point where we're just issuing money and tools and firepower. But they're still going to lose, and we're going to be $100 billion into this, and we won't get anything out of it. But there are Americans that have investments in war. There are politicians. That's why you got Republicans and Democrats on the side of this shit, because they are invested in it. War is profit for people.
It's a profit for a whole lot of industry. But then, what are we getting out of it? That's the question. What is the American people getting out of this?
You know what we get? Debt. We're getting debt, and we're getting a recession that's coming. And that's people, right. You know what? Here's the thing. Let me just be honest with you. I just want to be honest with you and tell you that we're always the last ones to see what's going to happen. We the first one to run at a party when we hear a gunshot.
Boy,
we talk about them standing around in scary movies waiting to get got. But right. we are the victim in the scary movie when it comes down to this economy and what's going on in America, because we stand around and we wait till after the fact.
That's right.
And we the ones that get eat up by the monster because we don't see things coming when it's on the way. We don't see it.
Wyatt, I even, I was trying to go around the community for years trying to get people, look, let me go back old school. I'll just $25 and let me build a garden in your back. Show you how to do chickens. And so that way you can be sustainable. Catch the water off of your roof and a rain barrel that's only $30. That way, if anything happens, and get one solar panel to be able to power the house up just in case something happens.
There you go.
Man.
There you go. There you go. Now, okay. Linda, I'm gonna tell you, I proposed something to Tracy Dillingham today, and that was the Garrett's popcorn thing. I don't know if you were here, but I'm a capital venturist. I'm the type of guy that invests, and right now, what I'm looking at is a Wyatt energy situation. I'm looking at alternative energy. I'm looking into doing some things. I've made an announcement on the show once before about getting into charging stations. I'm looking to invest in charging stations, and I have someone now looking into a serious situation. I bought some land, bang, 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 and now I'm looking to do the charging station and doing some other things in that area. I'll be
call me. That's exactly what I do.
I know. I know. That's why I brought it up to you.
See, and I was going to turn Lincoln Heights into a green, sustainable, and resilient city with them getting back the power of over $1 million a year. It was going to be charging stations, houses with solar, geothermal. It was going to be a whole lot. They would have been one of the shining stars in the city, but they fought me because, of my party affiliation. It did it. But I hope that one day that they'll, now that they see what I bought to them 4 or 5 years ago, and I have the plan, I would love to share it with you, Wyatt, so you can see it. And, what do you do?
Well, you know what? Sometimes you just look for a different circle. Every circle is not meant for you to try to fit your pieces into.
Right.
I mean, that's just been me. I grew up with a circle that I couldn't leave behind, and I never left anybody behind. I just left them where they were. So that's just what you got to do sometimes. Everybody's not meant to go where you're going.
That's right. And that's why I moved straight on, and I'm doing some other things, and I would love for you to become involved with some forward-thinking African Americans who are trying to do some things, not just here in Hamilton County, but do it around the country, because there's more than just Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, I do better business away from my city, my born city anyway, to be honest with you. There's reasons for that, but it's cool. It's cool. It's not where you're successful. It's if you ever get successful. That's the only thing that really matters. It don't matter where you do it.
We'll just wake up one day, because right now, if we look at goods and services just in 2020, African American has not progressed in goods and services since 1840. It's a flat line. You can go to the Federal Reserve website and look at it. It's
when you
right
say
there
goods
for
and
everybody
services,
to
give me
see.
some. When you say goods and services, give me a couple examples of what you're talking about.
Goods and
What would be some of the
services like
areas that you would?
goods like producing anything, any type of goods that you sell in the market, or services, accounting, you know, anything dealing with services and everything. And we have not progressed since 1840. And it's in the Federal Reserve report. It's right there in black and white. And then, I mean, you know, we're the number one consumer of everything.
Well, that's just that's my philosophy of there's two people in this world. You got a buyer and a seller. That's it. There's no in between.
And we're the buyers.
There you go.
So I wish we would kind of pull back. Now, I think with this economy, people are going to really have to pull back. You're not going to be able to go by that $350 bill.
Well,
or them, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are not going to afford them. That gas going to eat that, you know?
Yeah. And you know, like I told you, I don't know if you agree with this or not, Linda, and we'll get out of here. I'm going to hold you. But most people, I know you made a comment when I made this comment. I wanted to clarify it. When I said that people that put $10 on pump 8 in the tank, they'll learn a little bit later than the person that filled up. It'll take them a little longer because they'll put $10 in 3 or 4 times in that week. And at the end of the week, they'll be like, damn. You see what I'm saying? It'll hit them a little bit later than it would the person that stood at the pump and put $70 or $80 in to fill up right then and there. You see what I'm saying? They'll get it a little bit later. It's going to take them a couple times to say, damn, this shit crazy. Damn, this shit crazy. And then eventually, you know what I'm saying? But we all in the same boat. We all gonna feel that same pain. It's just a matter of when it's gonna tap you on the shoulder.
Amen. You are definitely right. Okay. And you're always right on a whole lot of subjects. That's why I listen to what you say.
Appreciate you,
sis.
I
respect you very much.
Thank you very much. The check is in the mail, sis. But I have your promise. Right?
You have my promise. I will come on.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Linda. I look forward to you coming on with us one time and maybe filling in for me or coming in as a guest. Sit down and talk with me. Let's do a split screen and let's do it.
Man, I am now the director for the state of Ohio for the Frederick Douglass Foundation.
Oh, sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds like something we can talk about.
I'll send you some information.
All right, cool.
And you can come to some events or something.
Absolutely. I'm always, hey, I want some things to do. I need more things to do. I need to get, when I'm in Cincinnati, I look to try to do some things. You know, I get out in the community and do a little bit more. I work so much, but I'm starting to wind down a little bit now in my age. I'm starting to kind of, you know, I'm on cruise control and I'm coming in for ending real soon. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe you can partner with me. But our initiative is all about freeing people, not any programs. You know,
I got you.
We need processes versus programs.
There you go.
But,
sounds like something I would be interested in. You still there, Linda?
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the call. Thank you for being in with us tonight. I'm over my time, so I'm gonna wrap it up here in a second. I want to just do my little outro. And I look forward to talking to you again.
Taking my call.
Thanks, Linda.
All right.
Bye-bye. It's Linda Matthews, y'all.